gosh, I almost broke this. Catrp crew, what's up?
What up, y'all?
So today we are going to be going over a bunch of Nintendo 64 stuff. Like, a bunch is an understatement as well.
Yes, indeed.
We're talking a ton of games, a ton of systems and controllers, and then I actually leave Chase for a full week. So we get to what was on your week, Chase? What'd you get to do?
Survival. Survival. Sweet mercy. I missed Skylar. He's back, but you're going to get to see the process of 2 weeks. A bunch of N64s, a bunch of games. It's all from the Game Barn. Let's roll into it.
What's up, Catrp crew? I don't know where this clip is going to be or if this is going to be the welcome to the video, but as you can see, I have cords in my hand and a bunch of consoles and controllers in the trunk. So these are some of the nicer ones that are like fully complete. Aside from this one, this one he didn't notice, so that's unfortunate. So I'm going to take all these and test them and get them all set for Amazon.
Yep.
Maybe even take the box system so we can get some high-end stuff like at least ready to go.
Yeah.
And then maybe we'll... Yeah.
It's a process.
I
mean, the thought process is to get the lowest hanging fruit, the things that will sell quick and easy and won't take a ton of time to test, out of the way and out of our hair.
Yeah.
Because we got a lot to go through.
Yeah. And like we think this is all the N64s. Like there's roughly 60.
There's still like 30 more in the shipping container.
He was like, yeah, there's probably some in boxes, so.
Yeah.
So there could be some nice ones. Like this is one. I think what I write on this box, because like things are like missing plates. He did give us an entire bag of tops and stuff.
Okay.
So
I think I saw that.
And he said that he has a bag of jumper packs potentially. So if he finds those, or if we're gonna have to find them now.
It's our job now.
We'll be able to match those, or maybe it'll just be worth it to buy some in the meantime. I think we have some extras already.
I think I did just buy like 20.
Okay.
And they're like on the way, so that'll be
perfect.
We anticipated a potential for this.
Yeah. So, all right. So I'm here in my living room. I got a bunch of cleaning stuff. This is not the normal setup, but I wanted to watch something on YouTube, so got the station set up. We have rubbing alcohol. This is what we're going to use to loosen up the buttons and kind of, I like getting a Q-tip, cleaning the inside of these. I'll give you more of a breakdown, but I'm just saying. So like we got some stuff we're testing. We got like a bin here. We got all these are systems. This here, these are just crap little stankers. They are all pretty bad. Like these are really rough. Like I have one good one so far. I'm currently working on cleaning the second. All of these are like good, but they need a deep cleaning. Like this is the average controller. It is going to take a lot of work. I am timing to see like how long it takes. That red one right there is probably the best, but yeah, I'm timing to see how long it takes to get these. Like it's not hard to test them, but this is a lot of work. Normally we would like pass on these kind of things if they're this dirty. So we're being extra picky. We're gonna see how many are like recoverable. Like this one isn't super bad. We have some like scratching, but at very worst it'll be acceptable. I'm just gonna have to do a lot of cleaning. All right, so I don't really do it, so I'm just gonna address it now. Here, we're gonna go widescreen, just a touch. Okay, this is a very dirty controller. Everywhere there could be dirt, there is. So I'm gonna show you what to look for when cleaning a Nintendo 64 controller. First thing I do, this joystick is horrible. So I'm gonna note that inside here. You can see how there is just dirt all around inside this joystick. My gosh, I can't speak. There is also dirt inside all these little buttons and these little crevices. Same along here. Inside this little Nintendo logo. The start is actually surprisingly clean. Let's look at the top. Each of the triggers have dirt there. This thing up here, that has dirt. More trigger dirt. Inside here, you can't see it. Oh, yes, you can. That is filthy. This button right here is surprisingly good. Sometimes, yeah, there's still a little bit of dirt. All inside of here is gross. Very gross. All these cracks are gross. Most cracks are gross. This cable is also very dirty. So, my biggest tools to use. I'm gonna throw a toothbrush. Toothbrush, that helps with the Nintendo logo, the top of here, and any of these kind of hard to get places. If you don't have, if you don't want to use your toothbrush, buy a separate one. Otherwise, what you can do is use Q-tips. That works really well for around the buttons. And you're going to want to get the Q-tips wet with isopropyl alcohol. And that'll really help clean in all of this. And then sometimes you might need to buy a set of dentist tools. And that really helps get all the junk out of these cracks. It's really gross. And here, you're probably going to have to use some Q-tips, or again, the toothbrush method has been my recent favorite. Inside these holes, you're just going to get a Q-tip wet with the isopropyl alcohol and just get it nice and clean. This is, yeah, just keep watching this. I mean, like, yeah, if there's dirt in a spot, then that's probably where there's going to be dirt on one of these. Another thing to consider is looking at the very end of this. This one is horrifically chewed up, so we're probably just not going to use this one at all, so, which is why it's not cleaned. Yeah, always test and inspect your controllers to see if they can even be in very good condition before you sell them, unless if you're selling them for parts. Okay, quick change of scene. A bunch of stuff happened. Turns out having, 200 Nintendo controllers and 50 systems in your living room can upset your wife. So we're in this room now. It's a lot later. Yeah, let me turn on a light. Hold on. Okay, so let me show you the little setup we got going on. Also, it sounds like I just had a sneeze attack, because I did. So we have this bin still untested. This, some is tested. This, they don't work. This is kind of like a, need a retest. These ones are tested and cleaned, and then this entire bin is tested. So, we got a lot to do. But I'm turning the lights back off because I'm a night creature, and I like the dark. We're seeing Skylar in his natural habitat here. Update. All the controllers are done and organized. I'm descending into madness with all these systems. My sneeze attacks have gotten worse. All these are pretty good. Very dirty. Well, honestly, I shouldn't say pretty good. Like, there's a chip on that one. Each of these ones in the middle has something minor wrong with it. This one's good. This one's good. And that very first one was good. So, not looking super good on the hit rate for flawless, no, absolutely no problem systems. But also, all that was pretty expected. So, those are the controllers that I've, cleaned fully. I'm not going to be touching any more of those. Everything is just so dirty. But, again, it was expected. This whole tub is, good to go. That tub is just completely broken. Joysticks does have buttons, wrong. And then this thing, hold on, let's just pop that bad boy open. It's just full. The more that have been tested, but need cleaning. So this bin and that bin need some cleaning. All right, we are just about done testing everything, marking all the condition things. We are down to the last one. Let's see. Hey, there we go. This beautiful thing will hit reset. Oh yeah, it's beautiful. All right, I just carried this thing back out into my car. Let's see how much it weighs. All right, we're gonna see how much this thing weighs. This is insane.
I have to get this man a raise.
You have to get me back surgery.
It's over 70 pounds.
Oh, I carried that down a flight of stairs.
Jeez, man. 90 pounds of glory.
Oh my gosh.
That's nuts. And I'm pretty sure that end is kind of on the ground, so it's probably more like 100.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I want you to predict how much it weighs.
It's like 165.
No, not that one. You're just that strong. All right, so we're going through all of the joysticks. Chase, we're getting the Chase test of approval.
Yeah.
On the joysticks.
I advertise them as slightly loose, so if they qualify for that, we keep the original joystick. If not, we put on a new one. Good old Matt does.
And that's right over here. Yeah, I said pretty much every single one could use one.
Yeah, like these are the ones that need joysticks.
So what are you doing? You're doing like a little wobble.
Yeah,
I mean, that one is completely...
There's never been a more obvious replacement need there.
Flaccid, one could say.
Oh, mercy. That's disgusting. They're dirty, but apparently they're tested. Skylar tested them over the weekend. And we're actually going to try to clean all of them before they get replaced, so when they get replaced, they're ready to go.
So right now we're going to clean a bunch of systems. Since we already have like a whole bin of good controllers already, we're just going to try and get as many systems as we can out of here first.
Yes.
And then kind of move on to controllers as we need them. Because I think when I did the count a while back, we have like 30 good controllers. I don't know if we want to use all of those because those are really good and some of these might only be in acceptable condition.
Yeah, we'll only pair them with very good condition.
So we're going to have to see. While Carson's cleaning, I'm going to kind of explain the breakdown since I didn't really, I kind of abandoned the whole cleaning effort very rapidly at my place. So the first thing I do is usually I just kind of look, see what needs to be done. Obvious things are just clean off any dust, usually in here. You want to clean out in here if there's anything stuck in any of those ports. Or in these, you want to make sure you clean that out. We check that, make sure it's clean. Now sometimes the buttons are a little sticky, so you take Q-tip with some rubbing alcohol, you just push it in, work it all around. Same thing with right here. And then another thing I kind of like to just peek in at is see how dirty that is. You might need some compressed air to blow this out a little bit better. Sometimes in the pins there's a bunch of hair in this one, but it's not really affecting how it works. So we'll try and blow it out. And then if the buttons are really stuck, we'll take off the top of one of these at some point, and I'll show you how to loosen that up. And then our strategy is just going to be to kind of clean them in batches of 3 and get them all set. So these are controllers that we already have cleaned and tested, ready to go. They go in bags in our storage system over here. Once they're all set, so we're probably going to need one specifically for N64 soon because we're overflowing. But we send them out. These are 1286 boxes. You can find these in our link below. So I'm going to tape a few of these up. And then in each box, we need AV cords and one of these. What is it called, Chase? The AC adapter, not the charger. Don't be like me and call it a charger. So I'm just going to throw all these in here. Normally we put the system on bottom. Take, again, first party controllers, very good. And then we use any of the solid color ones. Do we use the atomic purple?
Yeah.
In these sometimes, yeah? So that's the only one. Any of the other fantastic controllers we don't send in.
Yep. Atomic purple was standard. It's the only transparent standard controller.
Cool. All right, and then we've done videos on this in the past talking about what we use, but for controllers, we've been liking the 8x10 because they're a little bit bigger than the other controller bags we use. That's for those, and then we put the systems in an 11x14. We seal it up, and then we put them right in here. And again, links, you can find these. I think they're, is it Spartan and Spartan something?
Spartan Industrial.
Spartan Industrial.
Bags.
So, and we got a link for those in the description.
Yep, and then I've got links to these. We got to make sure to add it, but...
Yep.
The 1286 boxes.
Yes.
And it's always best if you order them by the 100, so...
Yeah.
You're going to get a way better deal that way.
All right, so we got 3 all cleaned, ready to go. Yep. Let's pick them up. I'm gonna grab 1, 2, 3 bags, and we're gonna put them all in there. All right, so in these, you only need 4 things. System, controller, the AC adapter, got AV cables. Make sure it's all nice. We throw craft paper in it, and we'll tape it up. We'll write on top of the box what it is, and I'll show you what that looks like. So it's taped up, then we take these, this is a set do not separate stickers, we put one here, and then for Chase and I, we just like writing what it is on the box, so when Chase goes to actually print off a label for it to send it into Amazon, he just puts it right over top of that.
Ready to go.
So Chase just actually pre-printed out a bunch of labels, so perfect. We'll take it, and where should we put it? Where should we put it? Should we just make a stack over here?
Do what your heart tells you. Yeah, that's
My heart tells me it's got to be right here for now.
I like it.
My heart really tells me that to put it in the barn, but it's not built yet. More systems.
So the one underneath, I think, is going to be heavier because I think it's games.
That one's not terrible. That one could be a one person.
That one.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
So we got box games.
Man, that's so many games.
I've never seen,
It goes so deep too.
I've never seen anything like this before.
Nor have I.
All right, so Carson's got a bunch of those all stacked up. Chase is working on getting the shipment ready. We just brought these guys in, and more systems. Yeah, come on now. Want a prediction? It looks like we do have some box stuff in here. Comment how many games you think there are in this. It's 5.5 wide by, oh gosh, I don't know, 5 tall. Figure it out.
Hey guys, processing for the massive game barn has begun. It was a lot of work getting through the GameCube stuff, which we actually bought before we bought out the barn. And I just finished processing and shipping all of that stuff, which took about 2 full work days because it was well over 100 orders and I packed them well. But they're all gone. They're out of here. So I finally get to work on this first set of bins, which I brought home from the last trip to the game barn. Just trying to get some low-hanging fruit stuff that can sell on Amazon. Maybe some stuff that we can put in Whatnot auctions, like all of these N64 cartridges are going to go on Whatnot, and I think I've got more over in this room for N64. So that's kind of the first stuff we're starting with is N64, and then moving to, like, there's 360 games in here, PS2 games, games that I kind of pulled. There's just so many. So ones that I think will sell on Amazon, those are ones I tried to get first, because those I can just get out of here. I don't have to store them as soon as they're clean and processed. And yeah, we're going to go from there. But this is quite the journey. There's a lot of strategies for how to sell things. I know a lot of you guys are wondering how we're going to do it. So that's where I'm starting. N64 is a hot system. So I think that's a great one. We're probably going to do a lot of Whatnot auctions with that stuff. Sell some of the very good condition, like popular titles on Amazon, which I have sent some of those off already. And then, man, we're just going to go from there. So it's Monday, and end of the day Monday, so I don't really have much time. But these 6 bins specifically, I would like to fully process if possible. And get them sent off to Amazon, get whatever needs to be sold on eBay in eBay bins. And then whatever needs to be sold on Whatnot in Whatnot bins, and kind of, you know, get an understanding of where these things are going and start getting some stuff sold. Hey guys, so it's the end of day 2 going through those games. I put a lot of them through the disc cleaner, so I have 2 good fully refurbished Echo Auto Smart disc cleaners by Elm USA. I'm actually looking into getting the Echo Senior, or the Echo Master, which can clean 50 discs at the same time, which would be crazy. We'll see. We'll see. But anyways, got through 100 games today. Probably worked directly on listing those games for about 4 hours. So between yesterday and today, about 4.5 hours to list. You know, it's 125 games pretty much fits in one of the bins. But I have some that like need to be tested, so I got my testing pile right there. And then some that need replacement cases, which I've been building up over the last few bins. So I almost have a full bin that I'm looking at down here for that. But, you know, putting $5 a game into AccelerList, which is the listing software that I use and definitely recommend, it increases your speed of listing very well. I've used Inventory Lab and AccelerList. AccelerList is better in my opinion because it has listing templates that you can build in and just click on them and you've got your condition description right away. It's very efficient. So check out that below. I got a code that you can use and it would help out the channel if you're interested. But yeah, listed on there, and I put in $5 buy costs for every game. and the net profit to be had was about $1,800. So on some games, you know, I might lose some money. On other games like these ones that I listed, I'll make a ton of money with a $5 buy cost. It's just a rough guess. It's not accurate to the T. But hey, we're going to start getting some sales and start moving on this massive barn buy, one bin at a time. Hey guys, it's the following day. I'm continuing processing, but plans have kind of changed a little bit. So I still have the remaining 5 bins. There's probably no way I'm going to get through all those this week. I was a little ambitious. But I shifted over. We kind of had a whatnot planned, an auction for N64 games. So I'm cleaning up those ones, getting them ready. And I'll show you what we're going to do for the auction this afternoon. So again, it's a last minute auction. But I wanted to get a couple more in for March because, you know, right now for retro game sellers, Whatnot has a thing where they give little bonuses if you meet thresholds in sales. So that's one reason. The other reason is I have like thousands of N64 games to sell. So I'm starting with like 60 today, giving away 5. I got 10 box games, you know, 50 cartridges that I'm selling. These are all going to be lots of 5 here. And then, you know, some giveaways over on the couch there. And all this is being sold today. So yesterday I processed through 125 games between yesterday and a little bit the day before. And then I also did other things like list on eBay, the daily listing challenge that we have. We're doing a 100-day challenge and pretty far into it and doing well. So I have to check off my boxes there because it's what you got to do for eBay. If that interests you, join the Discord and check it out. If you want to grow your eBay, it's a great way to do it. We're going to do another challenge after this one is over, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, I got all those games processed, and then most of today I've actually been doing like tax stuff. Just trying to get ahead of the game. So sometimes like regular business just kind of it takes over. There's not much I can do about it, so plans have certainly changed. But this morning I was like, well, I still need to find a way to sell a bunch of stuff or process a bunch of stuff. And the easiest, quickest way to do that was by putting an afternoon auction together. It's themed. It probably won't be an absolute home run of an auction because, you know, I gave like 4 hours notice through one Instagram story, and that's it. But just going to kind of see how like more of an organic auction goes, like just straight up through people browsing Whatnot, through people bookmarking the auction there, because we only have like 20 bookmarks and the auction happens in an hour and a half. So yeah, I've always been curious to see what would happen if I just did an organic, just no YouTube push or anything on there, and I'll keep you guys posted. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna guess the sales will be right around $1,000. Let's say 1,200 optimistically, but yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen. We'll see. I don't know. I'll let you guys know. All right, guys, the Whatnot show is over. It took about an hour and 25 minutes, a little bit longer than that to prepare it. Sold 2 consoles, about 60 games. The giveaway function wasn't working today, so we had to just throw them into random lots. So that was a little unfortunate, but it worked out. And then I sold one lot of coin proof sets, so pretty random. And we're going to see exactly how much things went for. Like I said, my optimistic guess was 1,200. I don't know if we got that, but let's check it out. Well, wouldn't you know, we actually did it, and it'll be like after fees, 1,200. So pretty stoked. Fees on Whatnot are about 11%, so should be probably a little bit over 1,200 depending on how the shipping goes. I'll take it. So yeah, it was definitely a test Whatnot. I think we ended up having like maybe 40 or 50 bookmarks, and almost all of them were organic. Just a few hours notice. But netting about $1,200 is great. That's probably a little under market. I'd say market might be more like 1,400 to 1,500 net. Like the complete N64 with 2 extra controllers went for $175, and it's pretty cheap. And there was a lot of stuff that was about like that. But at the same time, it all sold in one day, and I'm happy about it. And that is why I enjoy Whatnot, because it it's a really simple way to sell things very quickly and to be able to hang out with you guys and chat and have fun. Skylar joined me from Florida on his vacation. It was just a good time. So I'm happy about it. Definitely a success and a great way to move some inventory today. So with all those games, it wasn't just those that we had. So there was like 6 more tubs. Like, let me show you one right here. This tub right here, fully unprocessed. I didn't know we had more Knockout Kings. Holy cow.
Jeez. Okay. A lot of stuff. Yeah, and we weighed those. Each cartridge weighs just over or just under. Is it 3 or 4 ounces?
I don't know. That was a you thing.
Okay. Well, regardless, each box weighs probably like 50 pounds with how many cartridges there are in there.
So yeah, the goal is taking that bin and sorting out what can be sold on Amazon, eBay, and then whatnot. So this right here, that's one of the whatnot bins. We've got that labeled on one end. It's half full, so it's still there. But we do have a full one in here. So this one, all for whatnot. Yep, that's labeled. And then all 4 systems are good to go. Those will also go on whatnot to kind of attract people to those auctions. And I've actually already done one successful N64 auction, just really low-key and small, because we have a ton more to go, probably at least 6 more massive ones. Yeah. There's a bunch more out in the barn, too. There's like 3 or 4 more bins like that, plus more systems. We've sent off about 30 systems to FBA, to Amazon, and those are selling, so it's good. We're starting to get some money trickling in. But we've got a ton more work to do. So that's some of the stuff that's happened with just the N64 in the really early stages of processing. If there's something else you want to see, please let us know. We've gotten a lot of comments, a lot of feedback of people that just want to see our overall thoughts and processes of how we're gonna go. I keep on saying process, but how we're gonna sort through 50,000 games and like I don't even know, a couple thousand systems. We're gonna bring you guys with us for that whole thing. So these bins are what's kind of happening next. I went through one of them. We've got a video coming out about that stuff. So definitely stay tuned. Subscribe to this channel to see the back end, and check out the Discord if you're interested in growing on eBay and putting in the work to do it. We've got the processes for how to do that on Discord, but only join if you're willing to put in the work. And until next time, we'll see you later. Bar will do.